Hey there! Are you looking for some cool ideas for ways you can upcycle or use what you've already got? Well, stay tuned because I'm about to show you 4 of my very best and favorite ways to upcycle and use what I already have so you can save your money and save the environment. Stay tuned! Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Joelle, the Everyday Avant-Garde, and today I'm going to talk about 4 of my favorite tips for upcycling. The reason I'm doing this today is in celebration of Earth Day. So, I guess I've always been kind of a bit of an upcycler my whole life, but I think it's really important nowadays, especially with climate change and all of that, to reuse things that you've already have instead of throwing it away and then repurchasing it new. And I've noticed that there's a lot of times where I have something and I want it to just be cuter or better or whatever, and I don't like throwing stuff away. And my husband, he's a bit of a penny pincher, so we like to use what we have on hand as much as possible and not waste as much as possible. And it's great to do that because it's better for your wallet because you're not going to be spending money, and then it's better for the environment too because you're not going to be wasting so much. So let's jump right in. So the first thing that I'm going to talk about today with upcycling is regarding clothing and t-shirts. Now, this is something for me personally. My style changes kind of often. My taste changes kind of often. And it can be annoying to reinvent your style every year if you have to buy new clothes, but you don't always have to do that. Sometimes you can totally transform a look using what you already have on hand. And that's what I'm going to talk about today. So here we have my lovely dog, Paparazzi. Isn't he adorable? And the bed that he's sitting on right now is actually made out of t-shirts. I cut up a whole bunch of t-shirts and that I didn't want anymore, or they had stains or rips or whatever. And instead of donating them, sometimes even donation places, they won't take stuff that's damaged. So if you don't want it to go to waste, it's better to reuse it. With old and damaged t-shirts, you can cut them into strips and you can crochet. Or you can make, I've seen some really cool tutorials online as well for rugs that people make out of shirts. And another thing you could do too, if you're trying to save money, is with the old t-shirts, is you can just cut them up into squares and reuse them for cleaning purposes as well, for like dusting or dishwashing. And that's almost like a double upcycle because not only are you reusing your t-shirt, but then you're not wasting with paper towels also. So that's pretty cool. And so that's one way you can use your t-shirts. And then I'm going to show you, this is actually, I think I made this back when I was like 16 years old. This is actually made out of ribbon. And I used the scraps to make a bag, and you can use the scraps from your old clothes to repurpose as something else. Another thing that's really easy to make with t-shirts is to do like headbands or head wraps. And then this is another really old one that I made, but it's a hair clip, and this is actually all made out of an old t-shirt. Yeah, so there's like lots of fun little ways. And then when you wear it, I can't wear it now since I shaved my head, but it looks really cute when you have it in your hair. And then another thing I did with a clothing, especially in quarantine when 2020 started, I was totally jumping on. I was like really into that tie-dye sweatpants and matching set look. I thought it's super cute, and I love tie-dye because it's kind of like artsy and colorful. But I didn't want to spend $50 for like a whole tie-dye sweatsuit. I think that's just kind of insane. So one of the things that I did in quarantine lockdown was I bleached and tie-dyed some of my clothes that I either didn't like them anymore, or they had, all my stains, a lot of them get stains on them because from all the painting and stuff I do. Even though I have designated paint clothes, somehow all my clothes end up with some kind of paint on them. But yeah, so if you have like some kind of clothes that is like, say it's a shirt you really like, but there's just like a bleach stain on it or something, just go all out with it and bleach the whole thing. That's what I did with this, it looks like a set, but they actually aren't, the top and the shorts I'm wearing in this picture didn't even come together. They just both happened to be purple. And then it ended up looking like a set because once I bleached it, it reacted to the bleach in the same way. And so you can do that, you know, if you have things that are, you can do that with the bleach with black clothes, dark blue clothes, purple. And then it's kind of cool too, because with bleach, it gives it like a different color. See here in this purple, it turned out pink. If you bleach black, it turns out kind of like a burnt orange color. Same thing with blue. And then over here on the right side is a pair of shorts that I did with the bleach too, you know, like acid wash. So if you have some old pair of jeans or t-shirts that don't fit, bleach is like one of the cheapest ways to give it like a whole tie-dye new look. And then of course you could just use regular old tie-dye as well, which is extremely affordable. I think it's like $3 to $4 for a bottle, maybe even cheaper. And you can do some really cool, fun stuff with that too. If the tie-dye is a little too crazy for you, you could do like a beautiful ombre effect or just dip dyeing. And then also, like, this doesn't have to apply just to clothing. You can use this technique for your curtains and for your sheets and for your tablecloth, like anything that you want to get rid of because there's something wrong with it, or maybe just the color doesn't look good anymore, or maybe it got kind of dirty over time. You know, sometimes with like white sheets, even when you bleach it, like the color like fades, or not fades, but it stains like over time, and it's really hard to get it out. So if you have a sheet like that and you don't want to pay for a new sheet set, just dye it a different color. Oh, you can just plain dye it too. You don't even have to do like the full on kind of tie dye. You know, if you're not into like all that extra work or whatever, you just straight up dye an entirely new color too. And that can be really fun as well. So it's a great affordable option to reuse the clothes you already have without having to get rid of them. And sometimes, like in this case with the purple clothes, this purple bleach set that I did, I ended up like loving it 10 times more than I did before. So when you can make something not only look better, but make it into something you really love, like that's a huge win for me. Number 2. Ways to upcycle paper, cardboard, and junk mail. This is something, I freaking hate junk mail so much, honestly. But there's like lots of things you can do with it if you feel so inclined. So you can do collage boxes with magazines, or furniture collaging with magazines, or you can use magazines to make a vision board. You can do homemade stationery, scrapbooking, or journal embellishments with junk mail or old magazines. And this is my favorite one, honestly. This one I'm showing right here is a cardboard house that I made, and I use like scrap paper to decorate it and make it look cute. And if you have kids, this is a really fun activity as well. Even though I'm not a kid, I still had a ton of fun making this, because I'm all about that inner child. And then here's some more ways too. I just wanted to show you some other pictures of things that I've done. This is the one on the left is just a normal box. Like, have you ever gotten a box from like a product, and even though like the branding on it didn't look cute, like the integrity of the cardboard just seemed really nice, and you're like, oh, that's a nice box. I feel like that's something when you get older you're more kind of into, but yeah, I don't like to throw away boxes if they're really nice. I try to find a way I can repaint it or collage it or do something to make a new life out of it. And it's great for organizing too, to just have all kinds of cute boxes on hand. And then this one on the right is my lovely mother made this, and this is a digital download offering from her Etsy page, Diego Beach Books. But even though it's a digital download, she made this. These are like kind of like motivational little cute cards you could use as like a bookmark, or you know, something in a scrapbook. And she made them with scrap pieces of paper. And it's hard to tell from the photo, but where the texts are that, you know, say all these, you got this, worthy, wonderful, she actually took the clear parts out of the windows that come in the junk, you know, like the junk mail envelopes that has the window, the clear window for the address. She she took that part out and used it as like a little window for her cards. And then she sewed all around the edges of it. And I think it looks super cute, and it's a great way to use junk mail. Also, if you have like a small business, you can use, or just whether, you know, I don't know, like you can use junk mail for scrap paper if like the back of it's plain, or you can use it for extra padding if you like shred it up, and you can use it for packages, or you can use it like if you're moving. And yeah, so that's that one. Number 3, this is probably one of my favorite things ever to do is with upcycling is like just repaint it or find some other kind of ways that you can jazz it up. There's like I've been oftentimes, you know, I had a piece of furniture. So this one in the photo is a dresser, and it was a hand-me-down, and this dresser must have been, I don't know, it must be like at least like 20 years old or something. And sorry, I don't have a before photo, but I painted this dresser. I sanded it down, and then I did a whitewash so you could kind of see the wood texture through it. And I repainted the handles on it, and then did a little triangle detail with the white. And then I did a little side extra detail too, just for some pop, because I like to put little fun surprises and things when I can. But yeah, so repainting is a great way to use like, this doesn't have to be just furniture. You can do with picture frames, or what else? I don't know. I feel like you can literally paint anything. It's awesome. And then you can also, like, if you don't feel like painting, even just switching out the handles on stuff. Like you see on the dresser that I mentioned, like I repainted the handles, but they could look really cute too if you swapped them out for some modern ones. And just switching out the handles and hardware can give it a whole new life as well. And so that's a fun thing you can do. And then lastly, like this frame on the bottom here, it was just a chalkboard. I probably got it at like the dollar store or something, and it looked really boring before, and I felt like even painting it might be boring. So instead, I just went to town with some pom-poms that I also got from the dollar store, and I think that looks really cool. I just super glued them on. You can do rhinestones, or you can do another thing I've seen is like, I guess it's like a, you know, like the thumbtacks that are like metal, but they're like flush. They're not like the ones you can grab. You can do like nail detailing, or like, what's it called? Not rivets. It's like spikes. You can do like little spiky details as like a trim on something. And yeah, so sometimes just, you know, repainting it or jazzing it up, giving it some kind of extra like love can again make it into something that you are going to be, you know, thrilled with for years and years to come after that. And then I just want to show you this one real quick because it's one of my favorite pieces that I've painted, and I don't really have any good photos of it. So this table, it's just like a, you know, like a folding TV dinner table, right? Me and my husband got this for free. I don't remember where, but we got it for free. And I did a paint pour technique on it, and that kind of started to chip after some time because I didn't varnish it. So I covered up the chips with some gold leaf, and gold leaf is another great way that you can jazz up your furniture. And I'm so excited with how this one came out. Like, I feel like this table went from like we got it for free, but I feel like now it's like a $50 or more table. And we get so many compliments on it. And I think in supplies maybe couldn't have cost more than $20, and just one day of work. Not a full day though, like just a couple hours. Yeah, so just a little bit of elbow grease and a little bit of creativity and imagination, and you can take something that is boring or ugly and you can totally make it into something that you love and you're never gonna get rid of. So that's what we're going for. That's what I'm trying to, like, you know, inspire y'all to just like think about and whatnot. So on to the next one. Alrighty, number 4, my favoriteest way to upcycle, and something I've kind of become a bit of a hoarder of, but I just absolutely love it, is jars. And it's like, I don't know. I don't know if people do this or not. I feel like this is more kind of like an old school thing. Like people's like moms and grandmas do it, but I don't really see that many people like millennials or younger generation doing as much. But yeah, like reusing when you have pasta, for example, it comes in a glass jar and it has the lid and all that. And yeah, you can like put it in the recycle and that's cool. But I like to reuse them because you go to like Marshall's or TJ Maxx, whatever, and they're charging like $5 for a jar. Like, why would I spend $5 on a jar when I could just get one for free from my pantry? So yeah, just like, I just have an example of like one that I have to like cutesy it up, but yeah, so jars, I'm gonna tell you about like some of my tips for jars first, and then give you some ideas for ways. I'm gonna ramble about this one for a little bit just because it's my absolute favorite. So when you have jars, it's kind of, some of the labels can come off really easily, but sometimes they are really, really challenging to work with, but that doesn't stop me. And I don't know how I found this hack. It's just like a whole bunch of trial and error. But if you have a bunch of jars and you want to use them and you're having difficulty taking the labels off for any reason, my little trick that I have for y'all is I put them in a bath or the sink, fill it up with super hot water, you know, as hot as you can get it because it's glass, like it's going to be fine. And then I add Epsom salt to the bath and just a splash of soap as well. But for some reason, like sitting with the hot water and the salt, it totally like helps like eat up the adhesive and stuff on the jars. And I find that most of the time when I do that after one, I don't know what that noise was. I'm sorry, I think that was my speaker. After one bath with the salt and stuff, the labels come off super easy. And if you have trouble, just do it one more time. But I find that usually does it. And then scrape it a little with a butter knife if you're having if you're having any more difficulty getting those labels off. But yeah, so once you have your jar, the thing I love about this is there are so many things that you can do with it. And I feel like using glass over plastic, it looks more elegant, and then you don't have to worry about plastic like leaching, especially if you're using it for food and stuff like that. And it just looks like super classy. So, and then not to mention like, okay, like you have the glass jar and it's washed off, right? You can either keep it plain or you can do some things to like make it look even better, depending on what you want to use it for. So in this photo here, I sprayed it. There's a really cool spray paint called Mirror Effect, and it's made specifically for glass. Use it on clear glass, and it gives it a mirror finish. And this is actually something I did for me and my husband had a Harry Potter wedding, and I made a ton of these mirror glass jars, and they turned out so cool. And then also here I added some like extra rope, and you can use it as a lantern. You can use it for candles. But aside from painting, you can also use fabric and, or you can use like the magazines I was mentioning earlier. You can collage it with a magazine and some Mod Podge, or you can use the fabric with Mod Podge, or paint. And, yeah, there's so many things that you can do with that. So here's some more jars that I've made. The ones on the left are actually spice jars, like not the big full-on jars, but you know, depending on whatever your needs are. You can use for all kinds of things. And like, you know, we have the mirror spray here on the left. The middle ones, I actually used some old nail polish for those because I had way more nail polish than I needed. And I did a weird technique with that one actually. When you put nail polish on top of like a bowl of water, it just sits on the top, and then whatever you dip it in, you take it out, and it's like a marbling effect. It smells really intense because of the polish, so if you do that one, do it outside. But yeah, so I painted those ones with nail polish and glitter. And then the ones on the right are done with fabric. But yeah, and you can use for so many things. My first favorite one is to just reuse for other food storage. I personally think that I hate like looking at branded packaging. I think it's really ugly and I don't think it like looks very aesthetic. So if you have like stuff that you can, if it's in a bag and if it'll fit in the jar, just put it in the jar. It's going to look so much better. And if you're worried about like expiration dates or whatever, or nutrition labels, you can just always cut it out and tape it on the top of the jar or underneath. So you're not going to see it and it's going to just be hidden and it's going to look super nice. One of my favorite things in the house that we did with a bunch of jars is like, we like to drink tea every day. So I have a bunch of cute little jars that I, cleaned and reused for holding like cinnamon sticks and rose petals and cloves and like all kinds of little touchings that go with the tea. And it just looks so pretty, like all out there in the jars like that, instead of being in like the bags that they came in when we purchased, like the plastic bags. It just doesn't look cute. And if you try it for yourself, like you'll see, it's just like a breath of fresh air. And then it's nice too because you can see the product that's inside. You can see it clearly. But yeah, so like aside from food stuff, you can also use for like decanting as well. Like if you have like bath salts, like I think they look so much prettier in a jar, than in the plastic bag they came in. And you can use them for, I use mine a lot too for craft supply organization. Like I have, even though you have the photo, but like I still have my jars like years later, what would normally be trash. Like, I don't know how long I'll keep this, but I've gotten so much use out of it. And then this is another one I did. It's even better if you can, make sure you keep the lids too. And it's a set. And then this one I did with, I did it with the mirror paint. But I also just used washi tape to give it these little rainbow. So I always turn it this way because the back of it you can see like where the tape lines are or whatever. And yeah, all of these jars, I've had them for a couple years and they make super cute decor in my home while also functioning as storage. And so when you can do 2-in-1 too, that's even better. So that's my top 4 tips for upcycling and reusing things that you already have and how to give them a new life, make it better, just make yourself happier, make things, look nicer, and, save it from going in the landfill for Earth Day. If you try any of these tips, let me know. Tag me on Instagram with your creations at Everyday Avant-Garde, and I'll be sure to share them on my page too. I love seeing what other people make, and I love to share and support others as much as I can. And if you like this video, please like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Let me know if you have any questions or suggestions or anything else you want me to expand upon. I'm probably going to keep talking about upcycling throughout this channel as well because it's something I'm really passionate about and enjoy doing. And it just saves you so much money too. Like it's great. Like I don't know why you wouldn't upcycle if you could. Anyways, I hope you all have an amazing Earth Day. Thank you so much for watching and I'll catch you on the next video. Bye!